Hello and welcome to my speed build. Today I'm building a Winterfest vacation home on the Hillside Haven lot in the World Copperdale from the high school years expansion pack. This vacation rental has 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, and one of the bedrooms has bunk beds, a toddler bed, crib, changing table, and toy chest. There's also quite a few activities like a swing set, ping pong, hot tub, a juice keg, card table, and video games. And this build is not really for Winterfest minimalists or decor minimalists because I definitely end up adding a lot of holiday decorations towards the end of the build. So yeah, this is meant to be eclectic and colorful and just a lot more than maybe you might put in a regular home, because sometimes it can be tedious to put up all the extra decorations and then take them down. So I thought this could be a place for Sims to vacation and have everything be very decorated. And then you don't have to go back into build mode and put it all away. And so the thought behind this was to be a place where you could take a family. So there's stuff for toddlers and kids. And then there's also stuff if you wanted it to be like a group of friends or a group of adult Sims coming here to have like a Winterfest party. So then there's things for them as well. So it could go either way. You can make it family friendly or you can have it be a party for grown-ups. And then as for the style of the home, I just love a traditional farmhouse that is decorated in Christmas lights and Christmas wreaths. So I decided to just do that, a traditional black and white farmer's house, and double fireplaces. So as you can see, I'm putting in 2 chimneys because there's going to be a fireplace in the living room and the dining room as well. And now I'm just going through and trying to pick out the bricks that match the chimney. And it wasn't a perfect match, but that was the closest I could get that had black bricks with the white cement. But I'm not crazy about the edge that is only on certain corners. And now that is an extension, so I wanted that to be a different material. So that's why it's stone and not siding like the rest of the house. And I wanted a lot of room for people to do activities and different things that would be related to the holidays. So the staircase is pushed off into the corner for more space. The dining room is probably the most heavily decorated room. And that one really has a very red and white theme. And I come back at the end of the video and add all of that in because I wanted to be able to see what I was doing. And now I'm working on the doors that are going to lead out into the deck, and then the deck will lead into some outdoor areas that I've created. And it was a little difficult to pick windows because I really wanted black trim windows, but then I also wanted them to be a certain shape. And so I had to switch to white windows on the back of the house because I wanted the back of the house to have all the views because it looks out onto that lake or ocean, I'm not really sure, that leads out onto that like pier so they can view that. That's why I wanted a lot of windows. And of course, a green kitchen because that just feels very holiday to me, especially with the checkerboard floors. And I guess I'm going back to the windows here. These were very hard to figure out, those bottom windows, mostly because I just didn't notice those 3 that I ended up choosing. I just didn't realize that I had them until after I tried several windows, which I cut all of that out because it was so tedious. And then I just added some extra appliances, I guess you could call them, because there's a hot cocoa tray and the popcorn machine. And now moving on into the living room, and there's the TV from that cozy um, activity or cozy event. Well, I can't think of the name of it. And so I did do that, and I got all the little rewards unlocked, and some of them were great. Um, I wish that we had gotten wallpaper, like some Winterfest or holiday themed wallpaper would have been really fun. Maybe some larger rugs with that theme. We did get some front door rugs, and those were really adorable. And then I also wish that we had gotten some beds, even if it was just like a bed we have and they recolored it, I don't care. But if we could just have some more holiday bedspreads, that would have been really nice. But there was some really good stuff in there. Some of it I don't know if I'll use, but there was a good bit of it that I did like. Um, okay, now I'm adding the deck here. That's going to be like I said, it has like two entrances because one side is kind of like more grown up adult stuff. You know, there's a bar and a hot tub and a bench. If you have Love Struck, they'll stargaze and all of that. And then the other side is a little bit more family friendly. Um, and here I'm just trying to figure out the bunk beds because even if you don't bring kids, you might have Sims that won't share a bed or they don't share a bed because of their relationship type or lack thereof. So if you're not bringing kids, you can always delete all of that and add even more bunk beds. um, and yeah, I'm just trying to give everything, you know, so it can go either way and it's very easy to use this either way. Now I'm trying to do like a super red room because I love that plaid bed, but it just was getting too dark. Um, and just too not the direction I was going, so I changed it up to like a mint green. And then I moved the cocoa into there just to kind of give this room a little bit more to do. And you can see I remembered a high chair and then a coat rack, of course. And now I'm trying to add in music. And I really love that new little radio that we got from the latest kit because it fits on narrow tables. I love the record player, but it's like a full square size, so it only fits on like bigger things. So I really like that the radio, it looks adorable and it can go on small spaces. That's the bathroom, of course. I love a black and white checker bathroom, and I think it looks really good against the Christmas decorations that I put in later. Um, you know, it's just a classic black and white. And I only did one bathroom because it's The Sims and they can share. I'm sure there's a way that you can add another one if you'd like to, because the one bedroom is really big, so you might be able to squeeze something in there too. And then the green rugs. I know the rugs are overkill, but there's just something in my mind about walking on marble that I need to put those rugs down. This is the garage. But it's going to be a game room. And those cars, if you're not aware, they can be found in the transportation menu, selection in the menu. So you go all the way down to the bottom, it says transportation. You can pick out different cars. And I love that we have a red and green one. So I had to do that for this build, of course. And then in the garage, we get a ping pong table and a darts board. And then the keg I put on the outside because they do need a lot of room to be able to use that. So it wouldn't fit in the garage. These are also from the cozy um, event that we had. These are so adorable. And when you are in live mode, they twinkle. So if you haven't unlocked these, I think it's worth it. It's not the gameplay is not that hard and you can breeze right through it. It's not too bad. Um, and then so this is the area that's more for the adults. So it has the bar and the hot tub and the bench. Um, and now, so I love gravel, I love that gravel texture that's in this game, and I use it pretty often. And if it's meant to be a little bit more rustic, like this is a farmhouse, I put the brown dirt underneath it because it comes through in a little bit more realistic way. And I'm not very good at terrain paint, but I think that that is something that really helps add dimension to it. And now just adding posters and little artworks just to kind of make it feel like more like a game room. And then the outdoor trash cans. And I always love adding that debug recycle bin because I feel like that looks more realistic to me. Swing set for anybody who needs their, I think it's a mood lifter too. Like it's, if your Sims are in a bad mood, they can swing and get happy again, which I think is a cute feature. And got to do the feet dirt marks. That's why I put lines under the swing. And then the landscaping for this is very simple compared to what I usually like to do. I just did the twinkle lights bushes and then these red flowers. And that was pretty much it for the landscaping, other than I did a ton of Christmas trees. Like the trees that are lit up. They're not Christmas trees. They're trees with Christmas lights. And I put a ton of those out. I think like maybe 8. And there's a couple evergreens that I put around to kind of add into the fact that they're kind of in the woods or the mountains, and make it just look a little bit more rustic. And of course, if adding that in. And then I realized that they might need a laptop, because when you go to a house on vacation, if you don't know, you can't go into build mode while they're on vacation. So if you forget anything, it's like you can't add it. Unless, I mean, you could have a mod or something, I don't know, but I don't. And so it won't let you build. Um, so I'm trying to remember things that you would need, like a computer. You might need that while you're here. And so this is where I'm at towards the end of the build now, and I'm just adding in all of the decoration and really going heavy-handed with it, trying to fit. This is probably when I turned on move objects, because I usually keep move objects off for as long as possible and see how far I get. And then once I got to these decorations, this is when I believe I had to turn it on so I could fit everything. And here's the trees I was talking about. And there's also a little Christmas mailbox. So if you have seasons, the mailbox that came with that, one of the swatches is a holiday mailbox. And I love the nutcrackers and the snowmen. And I just think a lot of this stuff is so adorable and realistic. Um, so I'm just trying to use up as much of it as I can. Um, and adding it all in. And so now I'm just going through and adding all the garland wherever I can and adding the wreaths. Um, uh, and now these lights they're from a different pack that I can't remember. But I feel like they glow a little bit better than the actual Christmas lights, that came from like a free holiday kit a couple years ago. I just like how they glow, and I like how they fit on the narrow windows a little bit better. The other ones I'm talking about are like a long U shape, but they don't glow so great. So I did use them on the outside, but for some reason in the indoors, I just don't feel like they glow like these ones do. Um, and so now I'm just filling up the space and trying to match the room somewhat. That's a little bit hard to do. There's the mat that came with the cozy um, unlocking thing. And now, of course, you can't forget the garage. So I'm adding garland to the garage and adding that into this holiday decor. There they are. Those are the lights that I don't think look good inside. Um, they don't look lit up to me on the inside. And so I usually just use them on the outside. And then for this, I also forgot to turn on the decorations, like, the attic box where you can use it to add more lights to the exterior. I forgot to do that in this build. Um, but that will help too if you, like me, like a really heavily decorated house. You can add that as well to go even more extreme with your Christmas lights. Um, and now I'm just adding finishing touches here. And so adding all these lights is pretty much the last thing that I do here. Those are from Love Struck. I think they're in the wall decorations section of the build catalog. And then after I add all these lights, I believe the last thing that I do is add some wreaths to the cars out front, because I thought it would be really cute if they were decorated. Um, and so, yep, here we go. And that's everything. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. This build is available on my gallery, and now I'll leave you with a tour of the house.